Howdy, my name is Vashlos. Thanks for tuning in today, and this is week 2 update for my Ice Trap Trickster lowlife. Let's go ahead and get on into some of those changes that have taken place. And I'm also going to let you know as to where I plan on going with the build from this point onward. Just so you know, this is going to be a little bit of a rant, kind of a ramble. So buckle up. It could be a little confusing. I'm sorry, but I'm going to do my best to really make sense of all of my thoughts and such. So first and foremost, Bitterdream. This is probably a farewell video for Bitterdream, and a farewell video for Shroud of the Lightless and maybe Bubonic Trail. We have made this character with the idea in mind that we wanted to support Bitterdream as much as possible, and I think we're at that point. We really don't have much of anything else to do other than, like, let me read through some of these things, like a level 4 in power, a +1 to Socket of Gems Squire. We already have a Squire. We could have bought in a level +1 level Socket of Gems Squire for 7 Divine Orbs, but I thought that the prices were going to continue crashing, but then they nerfed the strategy that was basically spewing them out in a bunch of other uniques from high-end map juicers. But, you know, c'est la vie. We could recraft our ring and gloves, which we kind of did. We moved away from a 10% life reservation efficiency ring and no longer need that. I'll explain why in just a minute. I'm just going through some of the things that we could still do. Recraft the gloves to where it has either chaos resistance or maybe a better prefix that gives us 40% increased damage while under the effect of flasks. This is something that we may still do, but it's now lower on the totem pole because we plan on changing away from Bitterdream, Shroud of the Lightless, and Bubonic Trail. When we do that, we're probably also going to be swapping away from the Squire because the Squire is essentially only here to support Bitterdream. And, you know, just off the top of my head, we could move back towards a Prism Guardian, or we could move back to maybe a Sapphal's Frame. I do love this shield. It gives us a lot of maximum elemental resistances, which is something that we already have going for us in the build. We could also just go for a rare shield. I don't know. That's going to take some experimenting, and the shield slot is one of the most confusing I find right now. For the chest, we're going to be moving over towards a Sadist Garb. And the boots, um, I'm also a little. I don't want to say confused. I feel like confused is the wrong word. I'm kind of excited to try out different things because there are a bunch of different boots that appeal to me for different reasons. I'm not going to beat you over the head over each individual one and what you find interesting. I hope you'll tune into stream to find out what some of those are. Maybe laugh at some of the failures. And yeah, shield and boots really up in the air. Chest piece, it's absolutely going to be a rare Sadist Garb, I think. Maybe. And Anathema, it's here to stay. It gives us a lot of additional curses. We could even get rid of this diamond ring once we no longer have this massive mana requirement via a 12 link skill, and instead use something like what is it called? There's a ring, I forget, that swaps your skitterbots over to a cursor. Profane Proxy, I think is what it's called. But we could use that and put in like an enfeeble, and all of a sudden everything around us takes uh, even more time to land a hit on us via the reduced accuracy, and if it does hit, it deals less damage via that same curse. But you know that's kind of like food for thought more than a sure thing we're going to be doing. Heat Shiver, I think I'm going to stick with this until further notice. I'll probably make a video about the helmet that would replace this, if ever. It's just so much damage, and if we do freeze, it's even more damage on top of that. So, gives us resistances, gives us mana regeneration rate, provides us evasion rating, but no suppression, which is kind of a downside. But it's a unique and easily corruptible for a +1 power charge. Asterisk on easily corruptible, depending on how lucky you are. We traded in our old Sunblast for an exact copy for the reduced trap duration, but +3 fire resistance, and then the corrupted implicit of 16 to all elemental resistances. That cost us about 1 Divine Orb. We tried to corrupt our coruscating elixir. That did not work out, and we lost 3% quality. We can corrupt these later on, but I just don't prioritize it pretty highly right now. And I would find it rather annoying to recraft them if something else were to go wrong and whatnot. We bought ourselves a Thread of Hope. It is a large ring. This cost us about 13 Divine Orbs. And the main reason why I did this is to save passive points. It saves us a very small amount, but I'm pinching pennies here in terms of how far I can stretch this passive tree. We are level 97, so we still have 3 passive points to go. We could put those into Throatseeker if we wanted, or anywhere else. We could put them into Master Sapper. I plan on going towards Expeditious Munitions because the trap trigger area of effect is rather important. It also comes with some trap throwing speed at each point. Why do I value the trap trigger area of effect? It's because I want a higher uptime on my power charges and frenzy charges. I don't know what I was looking for there through my items, but basically when I throw traps, they need a trigger of effect area so that when they do trigger, it's going to work nicely with charged traps support. Sunblast says that traps cannot be triggered by enemies, but this is just either a bug or not true via that trap trigger of area of effect, because you can certainly still gain charges while in a map, and there is no possible way for you to gain those charges via an on-kill mechanic because, well, you're not the one killing them, the trap is. So the only other result is that they're still being triggered. I don't know that this is a bug. I hope it's not. I hope that GGG doesn't fix this, as, I mean, it would potentially just kill the archetype, but yeah, I'll quit beating over the head on that one. And I'm going to go over some of the other things that I've moved away from. We moved away from Disciple of the Forbidden. While we do want this and it puts us a little bit closer towards Unnatural Calm, also puts us next to Deep Thoughts for a nice mana reservation efficiency when you're desperate for that increased mana regeneration rate and intelligence. I mean, it really does have a nice path here. Puts you close to a lot of good things, but ultimately I decided that I want to spend those passive points in a different way, which was Arcane Pyrotechnics, Guerrilla Tactics, via this medium cluster jewel. And I also ran into a problem after moving away from my 10% life reservation efficiency ring, was that I didn't really want the strength on there either. I'm not gaining anything from that strength other than a higher level Immortal Call, which doesn't do anything for me unless I have endurance charges, and even then, the strength is virtually worthless to us. So I tried to think of ways that I could spend that suffix in a different way and how I could no longer require that strength at all. Because we did need 85 strength, and the way that the problem we were facing worked out was that we had almost enough, but in order to get enough to equip the items that we already had, it would require us to put that suffix somewhere, either a ring, on the boots, on gloves, that doesn't matter, right? But we didn't want that, so we were looking at passive points again after saving a bunch over here, and we started thinking about how much energy shield we got from intelligence. It's true, we get a lot. Per 5, you get 1% increased energy shield. That is a lot. We have 523. I'm not going to do the math right now, but I will talk about the mastery, whereas 5 to strength per allocated mastery passive skill, and then we're a trickster, which means that that could open us up to polymath. Let me open up my path of building. Polymath, with all of the masteries we have allocated, would be 23% increased damage. When we move away from Shroud of the Lightless, we're going to be losing like a hefty chunk of our damage. We're going to be losing a lot of mana. We could lose some energy shield via the scaling of Hypnotic Eye Jewels, or more so Abyssal Jewels from Shroud of the Lightless, reducing our maximum life. There's going to be some pain points. I'm not sure how this is going to shake out. I don't know if it's going to be better. But I do know that I think I want to move away from Bitterdream, which means that opens up a whole can of worms for the build. We've got a lot of new choices to make, a lot of new items to craft, maybe decide on using if they're unique items, and it's almost going to be a completely new build. So that's the main reason why I wanted to make this video, is to bring you guys up to speed on what my plans going forward are, and I just wanted to talk about this as I feel like it's a build in its own right. Bitterdream absolutely does huge damage. Maybe not turbo endgame viable, but it'll get you your four void stones 100%. I don't even know if you need the squire, like Prism Guardian, perfectly fine. But this is worked out far better than I thought it would for Bitterdream, all things considered. And I would like to show you a map. I don't know if I'm going to die. I would like to also accentuate this is not an immortal build. I would like it to be tankier. We're working on that. But right now, 4,000 energy shield, it feels very comfy for mapping, especially if you play defensively like you're a totem character. Throw the traps forward. If something approaches you, run away, lay more traps. I'm going to go ahead and give you an example of a Baron map. 45% more life, 18% physical damage, 60% spell suppression, and then skill tree 1. Let's go ahead and start it. I don't know what those modifiers are. I don't care either. This is the tree that I'm using. It's like a leveling tree, I would say. It's not particularly difficult. If I wanted to make it more difficult, I could put into chiseled perfection, and then I could put in mounting modifiers. But that's not really what I was doing. I just wanted to hit a level as I was pretty close and wanted some safe experience. But this is a pretty tanky map, I would say. We have domination. I'll avoid picking up the shrines just so that you can get a better feeling as to how much damage I do. Now, if I had more trap trigger of area of effect, I would be getting my charges much faster. Unfortunately, it does take some throws every now and then. We could go Ralakesh's Impatience boots. That's been on my mind. But it also absorbs the boot slot, and I don't know if that's what I want either.
Ready?
We'll do Tujin. No cold mastery? Okay. Or cold immunity?
Not on my watch.
I'm wondering if they got a little bit of block chance. I can check. Hits can't be evaded. I think I saw that. That's not very fun for us. If I can click it. Exotic coinage. I've got to pick it up. Don't judge me. I still need currency. But we're going to make a beeline for Baron. I'm not going to do the whole map. I just want to show you guys what it's like. And I'm going back on my word. We're going forward. Can I click these off? Oh, I can. Okay. I got you guys good. Like, oh my gosh! He went back on his word! We're gonna find the boss eventually. Definitely not a speed mapper. Drop a portal in case I'm bad.
I shall cast you into a pit of infinite tortures. Sinners must be punished.
Oh. I was punished. And that's the main problem that the build faces, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I would have kept him frozen if I had mana more figured out. Or maybe if I played or pressed Vol Clarity a little bit sooner. Standing still. But yeah. Not really a display of tankiness, but more so that you can definitely get some tanky map modifiers done and still not really be phased in terms of damage. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in to the week 2 update. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed what you saw. I will be posting more videos, but I can't give you a guarantee as to how frequent they're going to be. Obviously, I'm doing these weekly updates, but for other content like WoW and stuff, it's like I don't really know what to post sometimes. Give me some ideas if you have any. I don't only play Path of Exile, so I hope you'll tune in to stream sometime. I stream every single day, usually in the afternoons towards the early morning, for like 7 hours. So you've got a big window to come say hi. I would love to see you. And if you do stop by sometime, I would also love for you to join the Discord community. I'll leave that link down in the description as well. Tripping over my words. And I'll stop bothering you. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.